Um, so yesterday I did not trade. I was away. It was bank holiday in the UK, and I just because I was away, I just didn't look at the charts as much. Came back, looked at it. We had some rebounds from last week into the areas again. Um, I think the charts. I think Euro moved the most. I think. It did about 60 odd pips, but just basically bounced off from that area to there. Um, I am looking for a long in that area. We have a massive trend line going in there. But before we go to the technicals, I'm just going to go over some of the news that we had. So Trump has been active as usual, and he did write a letter to fire um, Fed's cook, the lady, because of some mortgage scandal that she's going through. It's not proven just yet, but basically she said to herself, well, he doesn't have any authority, and she's going to continue with her position in the Fed. So she is also right, but it's not proven just yet. So we'll have to see what happens there. Um, but he has given her the letter to be fired, but she's not taking it. Then he said some other, I don't understand this, some digital um, tax tariffs on that. He said some monetary policy from the RBA. But yeah, today you have quite a piece of news today. The leading indicators, I would say, just giving an idea of what to expect from the US economy. The durable goods orders is expected to come out worse. And I was reading Marc Chandler's article on the weekend, and it's pretty pretty informative. Um, I was reading this one, and I just had a read of this one as well, pretty much saying the same thing. But when I did my analysis, it kind of lined up with what Mark Chandler was saying that is giving a signal to sell the dollar, and that is quite reflective in the charts. As you saw, the dollar index made a new low over there. After making that high there, it dropped, made a new low. That could be the lower high, and we could have a continuation to the downside again. So I am leaning towards a weaker dollar this week. And he also mentioned that the Boeing orders for the planes, they have dropped in the past few months. As you know, Boeing is having a lot of issues, technical issues with the aircrafts, and they are also being investigated. Um, and as a result, they have had their share price, I think, dropped as well, and also the orders have reduced. So that I think Mark Chandler was saying that it's going to have an effect on the core durable orders this week, and you might probably expect to have a weaker economic data for these numbers here. So don't be surprised. Um, then you have Aussie CPI tomorrow, which is tonight, basically. So make sure not to have any um, Aussie trades running around that time. And then you have GDP as well, quite important. Usually the advanced GDP has a bigger impact, but um, this might as well have some effect on the dollar. We have some more dollar news there, and then core CPI for Japanese yen is going to be quite important as well. Um, and then you have some CPI news for the euro and the CAD GDP as well. Mark Chandler is expecting that to come out weak as well. So some clues there already, what to expect this week, but don't try to gamble and get in the trade just because of that, because sometimes it can have just an opposite effect to what the news data comes out as, because you have to look behind the news as well, like Mark recommends. Read behind the article when the article comes out. Um, Right. So dollar index, like I said, expecting um, the continuation to the downside. Is consolidating at the moment, but there are some technicals to indicate that it could continue to the downside. If we go on to the M2 charts, well, nothing much has happened on here. If you look at the dollar Swissy, still ranging. We did have a little break to the downside and it's come inside again in the triangle pattern. Um, so that's a flag pattern indicating a break to the upside. So we'll have to see if I'm wrong or not. But dollar Swiss is indicating a flag pattern that could potentially break to the upside. And if this works, if you measure the pole to the flag, it's 230 odd pips, and that's about bringing it out to here. Um, the way to play this out is if we get a breakout above here, then I would wait for the pullback and then I would tuck my stop below the lows here and then look to take it back up. You are trading into a resistance as well over here. 82 is a big round number. So it's not the most attractive pair to take a trade on right now. I was saying last week, if we do get a break, I would look to play it around in here, 82 as a round number, because that has a lot stronger support and resistance level. So at least I have a little bit of confidence over there. Um, Me trading it into right here is about 80 to 80, around 80 to 70 odd pips. Um, but I like this region there. So I can tuck my stop under the level of support and I can at least make around 190 odd pips to the upside if the dollar does break to the upside. Then the euro, on the other hand, kind of contradicts itself, but um, that area here would be a long. I'm looking to long the euro dollar. Still no confirmation just yet. Um, Not just going on the back of the EMAs there, but it bounced off there before. That would be a good range to kind of play. I'm not a big fan of trading ranges because I've not been that successful at it. Um, every time I kind of take it, that's the time it kind of spikes and takes me out. And the next time I don't take it, that's the time it works. So it's really weird how it is, but that's what I have been kind of facing as a trader. So I don't really look to trade ranges. Um, but that's a strong area, as you can see there, 115,830, basically 116 is a round number there, and you could look to play that range out. I am looking to play, if it does break the range, then to take it to the upside. And that would be waiting for 117 as a round number to break, retest, and then to take a long. It's not really kind of an M2 trade, but it um, is going well with direction of the dollar if the dollar continues to downside. Now I have the pound as well, and I favor the pound over the euro if we do get a breakout, because I shared with you in the forum, and I'm in this at the moment on an M2 trade. I've taken that where the EMAs are. So I'm currently sitting in a little bit of profit. So it's about 20 odd pips there. But I just took it this morning, I think around the 10 o'clock candle close. We had a pin bar reversal candle there. Um, so I'm into the pound at the moment. I've got in early and I did say, I think in the forum over here, I've just shared had an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Now, the conservative way to play this would be to wait for the break of the neckline and then look to take the trade. I've I've gotten on the aggressive entry, but using M2, and I have the confluences of the EMAs, which is why I got in. I'm gonna look to close the trade or take most of my profit over here And then if we do get a break to the upside, so expecting something like this, if we do get a break, then I'll open another position in here and then look to take it to the upside. Now this one is a massive head and shoulder pattern, and the analyst, even Marc Chandler, is saying that I read in two places, Marc Chandler and some other article, they're expecting this to go to 140, and I can see why, because if we measure this head and shoulder pattern and I move this to the upside, that actually takes it up all the way to 140 as well. So technically that sits well, but that's two ways to play it. I've taken the entry there and I'm looking to close it here if we do get a move to the upside, and then I will look to take another entry if we have a break of 136 again. So in terms of setups, I prefer the pound because I see a much bigger move. But let me know what are your thoughts on that and how you are looking to get in, or if you've already got in. I know Dan, my private client, he's got into this in this morning when I caught up with him, so he's in that already as well. What else do we have? So dollar CAD, you could, because it has broken inside EMAs, and if we are looking for the dollar to go to the downside, that's a small range that you could look to play. Not really for me, not just yet. It has to change the structure to lower high, lower lows. So it's not done yet just yet, but you could look to play it there. You are kind of, the stop is not the best right now, as in I want this to turn around clearly to give me a signal to the downside. But if you are looking to enter it there, um, ideally you want to put your stop there, but then it doesn't make sense because it's almost 1-to-1. So it needs an entry confirmation, which I have not just got it just yet. So I'm waiting for that to play out. Um, it's not the best trade, but you could look to take it as a day trade in there. It's about 90 odd pips, but needs a little pullback to the upside. Um, I was hoping that we would have got the breakout to the upside and then take the long. But that's not clearly happened because there's a lot of potential to the upside. If you do get that flag pattern breakout on the dollar Swissy, then you would expect the dollar CAD to also break to the upside. And if it does break, you want this high to be cleared and then wait for the pullback and then take the long. So that's how I would play the dollar CAD. At the moment, I'm not really interested, but if there are day traders in here and looking for an intraday trade, then you need to watch this closely on the shorter time frames if you want to take this short to the daily 55. So that is also a possibility. So keep a close eye on it on the shorter time frames. AUD USD, Mark was saying in the analysis on the weekend, wait for the break of this daily 55 and ideally above this high, and then it might give you a clear signal whether to long this. So I would say the same thing. Wait for a clear candle close above this high, and then wait for the pullback, and then you could put a 50 pip stop to then take it to the upside. So that makes a lot more sense rather than just taking it right now. Um, it's just like the CAD yen. We didn't get a clear break below last week, and then it quickly reversed and then has come down. So it's kind of consolidating in there. It's about 40 pip stop to take a short. I'm not into it just yet. I'm waiting for a reversal. I'll show you on my trading view charts, but I'll just go through M2 first. So Aussie USD waiting for a clear candle close above, then a pullback, and then a long. New Zealand dollar waiting for this short in here, so about a 50 pip stop to take it down. Clearly, we've made a new low. It's in a downtrend, as we can see, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, waiting for that lower high in here, and then looking to take the trade. This could be a forward order, so I will be putting a forward order most likely on this to then take it to the downside for around 110 pips. Then we have the euro pound, which I am still waiting for the long. It's not there just yet. I'm not really attracted to this long in here, especially because I am looking to long the pound. So if I'm long in the pound, I expect the euro pound to head to the downside. So if I'm taking a long on the pound and I'm taking a long on euro pound, I'm kind of trading against myself. So basically, I'm just waiting for this to come in here and then take a long. Um, um, Hope that makes sense what I just meant. Um, but if I'm expecting a clear move to the upside and the head and shoulder pattern, then I would expect the euro pound to weaken further. Um, I will just wait in here and then look to take a long. New Zealand CAD, which is very similar. So I would put this and this together. So New Zealand USD and New Zealand CAD, they look very similar. And I'm waiting for a pullback into here as well. There is a supply zone here, as you can see. So we had the consolidation in here and then the big move down, huge candle. So I would expect at least a pullback in here, price to reject. You could put your stop loss there and then look to take it down. Can go on the 4 hour as well and have a look. We could adjust the box there. But yeah, that's in the New Zealand USD and New Zealand CAD. They're both kind of A grades for me. And I will be looking either one to take a. Any questions so far? Oh, we have a big one. Let me just try and read this. Alex C. Okay, you have a few questions after watching this week's video from Mark. If you find 2 or 3 A-grade trades on majors, will you look at cross pairs at all? If yes, do you have a rule of thumb of how many forward orders, or is it okay to have at the same time? I've noticed that EMAs on my broker charts are different from yours, and he has IC markets due to different closes. For that reason, for example, my Euro USD charts do not have the same entry you outlined in the video. What should I do about it? Well, I guess a general answer to that is trade what you see, Alexi. Sometimes I don't see the same um, thing as Mark. As you know, his EMAs are a little different as well. And I had the same thing with the Euro USD. Um, my monthly 200 is in here at 116. And I'm pretty sure his monthly 200 was around 114, I believe, which is where he was looking for a long. But then he canceled in the end because um, the euro was very bearish there. But then it did bounce off there. Um, so yeah, I just trade what I see on my charts. Now it would be you need to have a look because I think IG markets. When I had a client from Brazil, I think you're from Japan, isn't it? Yeah. Um, I had a client, I think from Brazil or South America. somewhere in the south, and he was using IG. And whenever he was giving me analysis, his his levels were very different. So I was wondering why. And then when I was in the session with him, I realized his EMAs are very different, like completely different to what ours are. And I told him, I think you need to change your broker and find something that lines up with what we are seeing as well. Otherwise, you're just going to have entries in the wrong places. And the best thing to do is if you want to compare your EMAs and see if they're somewhat correct, just go on TradingView and just I use Owanda. So as you can see in my platform, I use Owanda and just see if your EMAs are lining up um, as the same as MetaTrader or even ours. So we have it ours at 116. This one is at 115.70. But if I look at TradingView, my monthly is quite different. So we tested this out last year, me and Mark, and you can see there. Well, no wonder my monthly 200 is at 117, 500. Um, so it's quite different there as well. We've realized the monthly 200 and monthly 55 on the brokers are different. The rest are literally the same. It's literally a few like cents difference, so it doesn't really matter. But the monthly 55 and um, monthly 200 are different on various brokers. Like we tried it on Global Prime, we tried it on Tickmill, and then I think I have FP Markets. We checked it on there and Think Markets as well. So yeah, I think the general advice is just trade what you see to make it less complicated. Um, like for me, I would see the opportunity in here. For Mark, I think he saw it in there. So I wouldn't stress too much about it. But if your AMs are very different to what you see on us, then just have a look at your broker. But if the general EMAs are where they should be, then you should be all right. It's just a monthly 200 and monthly 55. They can vary on different brokers. I think it's just to do with the data. So that's not really a fault. Um, where was I? So yeah, New Zealand CAD and New Zealand USD look the same. It's just a matter of which one you like to take. So um, I would lean to whichever one you prefer. Aussie CAD is the same as New Zealand CAD, slightly different right now because we had that news last week with the New Zealand, so that has dropped. But the Aussie CAD is showing along. Um, so I would not really go with the Aussie CAD. There is a possible day trade here to make around 80 odd pips with the 30 pip stop. So it's up to you. It's not really for me. I just see this consolidation and it's reacting in there. So that's why I'm not really going to take the trade on that. Now, you had this with the New Zealand CAD as well. You had a breakout several times in here, but then the price just came down again. And it was clearly consolidating between the EMAs in here. So that's what stopped me from trading the New Zealand CAD for many months. But now we have a clear break, so that's why I'm attracted towards it. Aussie CAD is kind of the same position that New Zealand CAD was a few months ago. So yeah, that's why I'm not leaning towards the Aussie CAD at the moment. But if you are looking to take a day trade, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. 30 pip stop to take 70 odd pips in there. Looks attractive. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is consolidating, so I'm not really interested in this. Give me 1 second. I think there was a postman just coming to give a parcel, so I'm just going to be 2 seconds. Sorry about this. Uh, having the same issue as what Mark has, the Amazon man turns around when you're having a live webinar. One second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Um, yeah, where was I? Dollar yen. So I'm waiting for a breakout, either up or down, and hopefully we get a break to the upside. If not, I would wait for a break to the downside and then for a pullback to take a short. Any questions? So I'm catching breath. I just ran up the stairs and down, and I'm very tired. Okay, now what I was going to say was with the dollar yen, I was saying last week that this is kind of the boss. So I would look at what this does and then look at the cross pairs. So if this breaks to the upside, I like the dollar yen because the other cross pairs, they don't look that attractive to take a long right now because you're trading right into the EMAs. But the dollar yen looks a lot more clearer to take a long. But if this does break to the downside, then I would look for the crosses because they look a lot better to take a shot on. So New Zealand yen, um, this one does look good for a shot in here, and it's about 140 pip range in here. So that does look good to take a shot on. Um, we have a break of the trend line. So let's build a picture around this. We have a Fibonacci. So you have trend line break, 87, round numbers in here, but 61.8, daily 55, daily 200, weekly 55, 78.6 WIP. So that would be a forward order for me. So it's about a 65 pip stop to take it to 186 as a round number, which is around 120 odd pips. So I would put a forward order on that. That looks pretty good. Now, then you have a problem because you're looking to take a shot on this, which is New Zealand. Then you have New Zealand CAD and you have New Zealand USD. So you'll have to make your mind up about which one you want to take because all of them have New Zealand in it. Um, so I would pick one out of these. Um, like between these two for me, I would probably go with the New Zealand USD. Um, and if you were looking to get into a yen pair, try to see which one you like out of these. But yeah, so just be aware of that, the correlation bit. So if you're taking New Zealand USD and New Zealand yen, I would say at least half your risk on both. But yeah, that's just some advice over there. CAD yen is consolidating, so I would not really get into it right now, just at the moment. Um, it is under the EMAs, so you would be looking to take a short first. But if it does break above, then you could be also looking to take a long. So it's kind of make up your mind region, which lines up pretty well with what is happening with where's the boss? Dollar yen over here is just going up and down. So that's why I'm waiting for a clear break to then get into the yen pairs. Um, well, yeah, we're having this same thing with the Aussie yen as well. We have this rule, so don't take the trade when it's in between the EMAs because you can just have a lot of consolidation happening around that. Wait for a clear break above or below and then look to take the trade. On the daily time frame, it's consolidating. On the 4-hour, we can see it's just stuck in between the EMAs. So nothing right now tells me to short or long. So it's pretty clear it's between the EMAs. So I'll just wait. Euro Aussie, I'll just pull this box up in here. Yeah, I was looking for a long, but not just yet. I think this one is on sky, and I'll come to that one in a minute. But we are looking for a long somewhere in here, 78.6 pip, 200 on the 4-hour, previous support and resistance 178. No, 179 is a round number in there, in an uptrend. So we're looking to take it to the upside. So that looks pretty good as well. Pound New Zealand. No, I don't like it at the moment. I think the region I'm looking to take a long is in there. Clear resistance, breakout support, resistance, breakout support. We didn't really get a retest proper, so I'm waiting for around 2.74 anywhere in there to take a long. Right. Those are all the Earth and Sky pairs. I mean, sorry, M2 pairs. Are there any pairs that I haven't looked at? I'll go on to quickly my trading view charts that I have lined up. Aussie yen, waiting for a short to take it to the downside. We are currently under the EMAs, I believe, in here. So I'm just waiting for a reversal, like I said, clear break, and then to take a short in a downtrend at the moment, but no confirmation just yet. Pound, I've got into this already, so looking to see if I can hold it to here for around 120 odd pips. And I told you already, I will look to enter another position in here if it breaks 136. Euro dollar is currently ranging at the moment, but like I said, in here looks pretty attractive as well. If it does come down in here at 116, we have a trend line, daily 55, etc. in there to take the long. And I also have that monthly 200 in there on my MetaTrader, so it does make it attractive to take a trade. Dollar Swissy, now because I'm looking for the dollar to go to the downside, and you can see this was a consolidation, made a new low. Now waiting for this to close underneath and then take the trade somewhere in here and then continue to the downside. So that's about 120 pip possible trade. Let me take out the EMAs to just give you a clearer idea of what I'm seeing. But yeah, I'm looking for a short on that. Pound yen. Pound yen is currently consolidating. I'm looking to see if we can reverse in here, but I don't really take trades on this pair because it tends to spike a lot. I usually lean towards the cross pairs a lot more. But a trade anywhere at around 199, 160 would be looking pretty attractive to me. Just waiting for that reversal to happen. It looks pretty bullish on the daily time frame, so it's not. It should be down here actually. The pair. New Zealand USD, I've shown you already. I'm looking for the short in here where you have the EMAs. Just to show you that. I don't really prefer this area in here. Waiting for the pullback. Pound Aussie, I'm waiting for a pullback in this region there to then take it to the upside. It's not there yet. We are clearly bearish right now because we went from bullish, making a new lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So waiting for this structure to change around in here and then take a long. New Zealand cat, yeah, like I said, you could put a forward order in there. That was a head and shoulder pattern there on the 4 hour, and then we had the break after the news. So it was kind of riskier for me to take that, but I did see it playing out. But then, yeah, I didn't want to take that. I just took the Aussie instead and made around 60 odd pairs on that. But yeah, that was a good trade as well. And then pound yen is there, and CAD yen, yeah, just waiting for confirmation on that as well. One that I had also was Euro CAD. So this is a counter trend trade. Just be aware of that because we are currently in an uptrend. So because we are around at all-time highs, what I'm thinking is to wait for a reversal in there and try to play this out for around 140 odd pips. But I need a clear break of this resistance, which is currently support. So the candle closed below, and then I will be looking to take the trade on the entry confirmation. But that's a pretty good range there, which we could look to play out because we can see over here we had reversals in there. So I'm just waiting for this to close underneath, then a pullback to then take the trade. Any questions so far? Not. Let's go out in sky. So Pierre did mention that in his post. 1 second. He was mentioning about the Euro Aussie that price broke past the 78.6 sweep this morning and like charts again, but found support at weekly support 1 and 200 EMA at 179.30. So while that holds, bias is still long. So what he's saying is this level has still holded. So all he needs is kind of a reversal and a bullish engulfing, I'm assuming, to then take the trade. But for me, this weekly pivot is in the way, which is still around 96 odd pips, but it's kind of like breaking the rules slightly. I get why he's trying to look at that. But when I look at this on M2 as well, you can see that this is exactly where I'm also looking to take a long. So in that way, it kind of does make sense why he's looking to still be in the bias to kind of take the trade. Um, but yeah, he's got it on there. I've taken a few pairs out because I didn't like them. I've taken the Euro New Zealand out, but I kept the Pound New Zealand because the weekly pivot and the Fibonacci kind of fitted very well with this one. So this one is kind of ready to take. We've made a new high after making low high, low lows when it is in an uptrend. So now just need a pullback in here to then take the long. So that's about a 60, 70 pip stop. And then you could be looking to play that out for around 245 odd pips. So just wait for the pullback in then and look to take it at 2.3, which is a round number as well. So that one looks good. Aussie New Zealand, I know some of you trade this and you're looking for a pullback at 110.20, stop loss anywhere around in here, and then you should be good to take it to the upside. Swiss yen, I don't trade this much, but it's come up on Northern Sky and could be looking to put a 40 pip stop on that to make around 100 odd pips, or you can look to hold it to the upside if it does continue to break about the weekly resistance 1. Don't look to trade it that much because it is all-time highs, the Swiss yen. Similarly, like how Euro yen is right now, which is why I'm not trading the Euro yen. But again, this is Northern Skies, so make up your mind if you want to take that trade or not. New Zealand CAD, and New Zealand USD. They're both very similar. So you're looking for a pullback anywhere around in here to then take the short. It's quite a big stop there. So New Zealand CAD doesn't look as good as New Zealand USD. New Zealand USD looks a lot better. 50 pip stop to then continue to the downside. Again, you can use the weekly support too, because it doesn't, PI doesn't really look at the support one to then take the trade. But I prefer my M2 entries, so I will wait a little bit higher, because over here 78.6 fib is where I am looking to take those. You have a much better stop. You have the EMAs. You can tuck a stop above that and then look to take it back now. Okay. And to end off, we'll just look at some crypto. Bitcoin, it dropped again on the weekend. Again, this is not financial advice, but just showing you some price action in here. And Bitcoin is actually at a good place to buy. So like if you had some money to put in, if you're looking to put into crypto, you could look to scale in there. So let's say you had about 2 grand to put into Bitcoin, you could put 1 grand in there. And then if it drops, you could put 1 grand in there. Clearly very strong support. 100,000 is a round number, 50% fib in there. And you have also the daily 200. So that looks pretty good. You're using the EMAs on these, same thing as what you're looking to do, M2 with the Forex. Ethereum is at all-time highs, so not a good place to buy. You would wait for a pullback to 3,800 or in here. What else looks attractive? CRO at 12, I'm waiting to buy more. I have quite a lot of this, so I'm looking to sell if it goes up higher in around there at 20. Cardano, I sold some there the other day, and I'm looking to buy more if it drops over there. TRX has been doing pretty well for me, but it's currently quite high, so it needs to pull back. Solana, where's Solana? Solana, I will look to buy at 170 again. I have quite a few in there. I'm looking to add more to my portfolio. Quite a strong token, A grade portfolio. And yeah, the meme coins, I would not really recommend anything from there. Just showing you the ones that look good. H bar, is currently below this level of support, which is now resistance. So the daily 55 stuck in there at the moment, but if you're looking for a cheaper price, clearly 0.20 looks like a good area to buy over here, to add more positions. Okay, I hope you found that productive and helpful, and keep up in the forum. And yeah, good luck for the week ahead. There's not a lot of news, so it should be not too hard, but just be patient. And we are coming towards the end of October. So usually the last day of the month can be quite weird in terms of like you can have a lot of movement in a direction you're not expecting. So just be aware on Friday. It's also coming on Friday, so I would not really look to add any more. Open any positions on Friday because it's the end of the month. Because 29th, 30, 31st is coming on the weekend, which is when it's closed, and then we have the new month next month opening on Monday. Okay. Take care, and I'll post the recording in a couple of hours. Thank you. Steve, oh wait, I had a few questions. Um, Same as yours. Okay. Julian says it's been a volatile week for crypto. What are your thoughts? Had some good trades though. Um, yeah, I don't look to trade crypto, Julian. Um, I'm just like I buy the tokens and I look to hold them, and then just do what Mark does. I look to sell them if they make around 30% or more. Um, but yeah, I don't look to use leverage or anything else. And for me, I don't really have the time to kind of like trade crypto all the time. So I kind of more busy towards Forex. I pay more attention to that. But even then, I don't spend a lot of time on charts. Um, there is M2 trade on the Euro Aussie around 178,500 on the daily. Yeah, I think Anton, I showed you that one already. Um, but yeah, just waiting for confirmation on that. In a support and resistance method, do you prefer to play the break and pull back rather than a rebound? Nah, I would prefer break and pull back. It's much more safer. Where do I find a recorded video? Um, Steven, so let me share my screen. I forgot. So the recording should be available. If you click on the logo that takes you to the homepage, just as a clue, and it should appear in here. The three latest posts come in here. And if you want to have a look at the live session recordings from the past, then we update them in here. In education, live training sessions, and then you can see them all from the start of the year and all the way to August now. So today's one will be also added in here if you get lost in the website. But yeah, and you can also find them in the mentors blog, whoever is running the webinar. So you can find them under their names. Okay. All right then. I'm gonna go. Take care. Bye bye.